Greetings, everybody. How you guys doing? What's today? Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Today is a Mars day. Mars is in Aries. And we have a new moon in Taurus tomorrow at the 18th degree. And this is a Venus-ruled new moon, and Venus is in Taurus also. This energy is so incredible, you all. We are moving through incredible windows of energy, and I want to do my best to explain it. My intention is to be able to speak about the astrology in a way that makes it really accessible for you and personal, so that you understand that it's a personal thing that's happening. The astrology is impacting you personally. So first, let me say I am Monique, also known as the Moon Mama. I am the founder and co-facilitator at Follow the Sun, where myself and a number of other women are creating spaces for women especially, but for men as well. If men are devoted to really tapping into their feminine energy, then they are welcome. But for women to really understand the true meaning of feminine energy and how to use it and what it is. And we believe that feminine energy is about women who are at home cooking and cleaning and, saying yesterday, ma'am. But that's not what feminine energy is. That's the social construct around it. That's the way we've attempted to define it. But the feminine is the unseen. It's the invisible. It's the internal. It's the dark. And, so we have translated that into she is at home in her house doing things in the privacy of her home. So that, the way that we navigate the feminine in our culture is akin to what feminine energy is, but it is just akin to it. It's not the full thing. So today we're having a new moon, and the new moon is going to be in Taurus at the 18th degree. Now, I just really want to come and say they not like us. I am loving this rap battle, and I'm loving it for reasons that are specific to my understanding of astrology. And I will say that I grew up in Watts. You guys have heard me say that I grew up in Watts. I went to Howard University, but I've also always been studying spirituality because I have felt like being a Black person is a deep spiritual journey. I have felt like just being in the skin makes me, the only way to navigate this world was to understand that being in the skin meant that I was in a deep spiritual journey. And so that included me understanding the nature of our country, our system, the nature of religion, the nature of our government, the practices, the nature of our education system, and how all of that particularly impacted me in a Black person's body. And what I want to say is that Kendrick Lamar summed it up. They're not like us. They are not like us. They are not like us. And I mean that. That might sound, egotistical or arrogant. But according to this system and how this system is made, it is a deliberate system that is designed to oppress who we are as Black people. The system entirely, in its full scope, everything about it is designed to be oppressive to the spirits of Black people. And with this new moon in Taurus, we also have Pluto in Aquarius, which has now turned retrograde. We also have Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus and Venus in Taurus. And so all of this is about an expansion of value, like really coming into who you truly are. When I think of this, the analogy that comes up for me is there are forests in the world that are made of this, I think it's a pine tree. Yes, it's a pine tree, and the whole forest are pine trees. And the pines fall off the trees, and then at some point the forest literally catches itself on fire, so that the heat from the fire will pop the pine cones open so new trees can be birthed, right? And within a year or so, there's a whole new forest with whole new trees. And so this is what America is for Black people. America is the oven. It is the place where we have had to be to experience the profound levels of pressure and resistance and oppression and fight back so that we could become ourselves. What is within us is so profound and unique that we have required the most intense experiences to help us develop and learn to access our power. And this is why this "They're Not Like Us" song to me is so significant, because when you do the work to understand who we are and where we've come from, when you can put a picture together of what occurred during slavery for 250 years, not 3 months, not 6 months, not 3 years, and my intention is not to compare our suffering. That's not my intention. My intention is not to compare our suffering to other people who have suffered, because all have suffered. My intention is for us to understand the level of resistance that we have been able to endure for the amounts of time that we have been able to endure it. And that makes us not like them and them not like us. Because many people have died off because of being exposed to different bacteria from other countries. Like the Native Americans died. Many of them died from smallpox and because they didn't have the durability in their biological system to fight off diseases and bacteria that were foreign to them. They weren't capable of it. But we are, and we were. Do you understand? And it's important for us to understand who we are and how we function, and that they are not like us, that we are not like them. And there is a reason for that. And that reason is divine. That reason is a part of a greater experience and our connection to this reality. And there are great efforts that occur to keep us thinking shallow, to keep us trying to make money, to keep us always trying to get something external. I don't have enough of this. I need this. I need that. That is by design, because if you stop seeking externally, if you stop looking outside of yourself and believing that the next thing is going to be the thing that makes you happy, when you make this amount of money, you'll be good. When you get this, if you stop doing that and go inside of yourself and ask, who am I? And why? This is why I'm asking who I am, because I have come from people who endured years, generations of torture, of oppression, of murder, of rape, of brutality, and I am still here. Somebody lived through pure hell to get you here. aren't you curious about who the fuck you are? Somebody died. Somebody's mother could have been raped over and over and over again. Somebody, like all of that for you to be here in this black body at this time on the planet. Aren't you curious about why you survived? Why you're here? Are you curious about it? Am I making sense? Because it is very important for us to take on this understanding that they are not like us. Because what we have to offer, what is within us is unique. And guess what? We need to use it now or never. We need to use it. Has to be realized, because the gift of what is within you will save the planet. It will save, and it's not going to save America. America's over. America's done. We don't even have to think about that anymore. We're finished with America. But the gift, the power, the magic that is within you, that can be sourced only through you knowing who you are, is fundamental to the well-being of our future societies and our future cultures and the children. It's fundamental. We will not survive without it. But the first thing that you have to understand is that they are not like us. They are not like us. They are not like us. And what happens is we are so distracted by the things by money and all these other things, thinking that that is going to be the thing. And it's not, because what's inside of you is something that is created for the next reality, for the next dimension. And you recognizing it and understanding it will begin the process of getting you there, and all of the people around you that you care about, that you love, that you are here in service to. You will help them get there. But we are at the end of the dark ages and the beginning of a golden age. And so for those of us who have the mindsets, the consciousness to open ourselves to the golden age, this is a powerful, powerful time, because we are truly the pioneers of a new era. That shit is amazing. We are the pioneers of a new era, and nobody can hold the energy like those of us who have endured tremendous levels of resistance and trauma. That means that you are made for this time. You are durable. You are powerful, which is why you can hold all that resistance. Just think about these superhero films, right? Where you're like, Superman can move through the greatest force. He can just bear down and keep pushing where that force would have knocked everybody else out. You are that. You are that. And it is your responsibility to uncover it. It is your responsibility to believe in yourself. It is your responsibility to put yourself in spaces that understand who you really are, and not who the world has told you are, who you really are, and to begin to cultivate and grow your power and your gifts and your ways of being. It's your responsibility to get yourself there. So what that means is you have to heal the trauma. You have to heal the disbeliefs. You have to recondition your mind to see the world as it really is and see yourself as you really are. And you have to really stop. Many of us are aspiring to whiteness is what we're doing. We want to be like them because the world says that is what is desirable. So we're aspiring to it subconsciously. We just want to have enough money to buy a house. We just want to have enough money, we just want to have a husband or a wife. And all those ideas, those concepts, those are illusions of culture that are not real. They have nothing to do with anything. They are the true core nature, religion, all that. We just want to know Jesus. All that shit is outside of you. Everything has been co-opted. So it is your responsibility to get clear about your codes and how you are meant to function with reality. How are you meant to function? Not according to what the law says, not according to what, your family did, all that. So how are you meant to function? A new era is being born. So you have to be courageous. You have to be willing to try new things. You have to be willing to believe that feeling you got and be like, oh yeah, I felt that and I knew that. You have to be willing to place demands on yourself and reality in ways that get you into another way of being. You have to be willing to do it. You have to push the edges. Because this culture is over with. This society is over with. And we're not going there's some things that are going to come with us. There's some things that are valuable. And then there are other things that just don't serve anymore at all. And so you've got to begin to differentiate yourself and really understand who you really are. And Pluto in Aquarius, now retrograde, is saying, who are you really? Who are you for real? Who are you at your core? What's really true? And it just means pushing the envelope. For me, I just have stopped being afraid to look at the parts of myself that I was always afraid of. I'm not afraid to look at my sexuality. I'm not afraid to believe the voice that's in my head telling me what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not afraid to understand that there's something greater going on here that is more than what I have been taught. I'm not afraid to understand that there's an ancestral things and that it lives in my body and that what I'm feeling is information from. I'm not afraid any longer. So I'm like literally just standing in the truth of what I understand about who I am and my relationship to reality. And I'm letting go of all the ways that I used to use my energy, calling people best friends and believing that I couldn't be happy without love and thinking that, not and acting like the government had my best interest at heart. Like because they said it was true. That is not, you know what I mean? Like understanding that the education system is truly malfunctioning for a purpose and meant to, right? Like I have to be willing to see things as they really are. And, I have to be willing to see things about myself. There's a part I have told lies before. I have done things that were out of integrity before. I have been deceptive before. I have been manipulative. I had to really look at these things so that I can see things for as they truly are, so that I could get clear about how is it that I'm going to move myself forward. And now we find ourselves in the Taurus New Moon energy with Uranus and Venus and Jupiter, and so Uranus there means rapid changes. Things are about to start changing so fast. Like, if you're in a relationship that doesn't serve you, people, like all sorts of things that it's like the dam is going to break. So that's Uranus. And Jupiter is about expansion. So if you have been doing the work to expand, like I have been very deliberate. I have built community. I have built systems like Noah's Ark, right? Like Noah built the ark so when the water came, he was ready. I have been building systems so that when this time came, I am ready to do what I am here to do. Have you been preparing for now? Have you been preparing for now? And so there's that. So building systems, Jupiter, that's right. Expansion, right? Preparing for expansion. And then Venus and Taurus is, oh gosh, Venus and Taurus is beautiful. Venus and Taurus is wealth. It's possessions. It's like a luscious earthly experience. It's sensual. It's like really having all your needs met and really feeling deeply taken care of and loved and provided for. But if you have done the things to prepare, if you have done what you needed to do, then you're ready. But if you have not, where do you need to start? Where do you need to start? Because this is the new moon in Taurus. So where's the time for you to start? And that start has to do with you understanding your value, understanding your value, your gifts, your system, the way you function, what you're here to be, and that is where you want to start. Understanding your value. living inside of your value, knowing what you're up to. And if you don't have those answers, come book a reading, come do coaching, or do it with someone else. But get an intention so that you can get from where you are to where you are meant to be, And so before I go, I just want to say this thing about us understanding our value as Black people in America. We must understand the impact that we have had in this country. We must understand that our presence has transformed reality. And we must understand also that to be the people who have had the greatest resistance means that you have the greatest power. Nature never lies. And we have had an opportunity that our culture, our social conditions, our society has given us monumental levels of resistance and pushback and oppression. And we have still flourished. There is a reason for that. Nothing is a mistake. And so if you can begin to be grateful for the oppression, be grateful for the resistance, because when you change your mind about it and you're not complaining about it and making it wrong then it will reveal to you the purpose and the reason for it. But if you are against it, if you are like, I used to be against it. White people this, they did that. When I was against it, I could never benefit from it. And when I started to understand how energy worked, and I had to say, the universe is always giving me what I need. So why would it be giving me racism and a culture that is dark as fuck and brutal and criminal? Why would that be what I'm seeing? Why is that it? And when I started asking that question earnestly, sincerely, not trying to, literally attempting to understand it, then I started to realize, this is the magic key. This is the magic. If I can understand that this is actually serving me, it's helping me somehow. And how is it helping? How is it serving? I grew up in Watts. That's why this Kendrick Lamar song with Drake saying they're not like us so resonates with me, because I have seen the worst of this country from the very bottom. And that is a benefit. I actually know what I'm dealing with. I know who people really are, because I have seen that people don't care about other people. It's good. I just need to know it, right? I have seen that people will put money above human beings. I have seen what the needs truly are. I have seen humans at their lowest, and I have been able to see that and understand why that is the way it is. I've understood that the system is so depleted that people are just fighting for survival. They literally are not connected inside of themselves. And I realize that that's very true for white people generally, because you can't step over somebody hurting and not feel that. But the system of slavery created that in them at a genetic level. To watch people suffer for 250 years, and support it is inhumane. So there has to be something disconnected in the psyche. So it's a mental illness. And now I understand it. It is a mental illness as far as humans go, right? So because I understand that, I don't blame them in the way, but I also know that they shouldn't be in control. That's what I know. They're not capable of creating systems that work for everybody. They're not capable because they're functioning in a space of deficit. So they shouldn't be our leaders. They don't hold the capacity to be our, but I had to study to understand, to see that, so that I'm not going to be protesting against it. I'm not, because that's not going to change the system, because they aren't going to get it. That just fuels them. We have to understand how they function. The resistance fuels them. So I'm not going to work with giving them resistance. I'm going to find another way. And so the best way to do that is for us to build new systems that exclude them. Build new systems, new tools that exclude them. So when we begin to thrive, they will realize that they need us, and then they come through another way. And if we're not thinking, then we're going to just always be in reaction to them. They thrive off of that. They thrive off of us being in reaction to them. So we have to build new systems that work for us. And it's really easy to do. It's really easy to do. Build your own fucking table. Exactly. And stop asking to fit in, because they cannot accommodate us. Our energy is too big. Our energy is too grand for them to create spaces to accommodate us. They cannot do it. So that's why I love this thing with Kendrick and Lamar, Kendrick and Drake, because Drake is pop. They are not like us. Like, we have to begin to value the experiences and what was developed within us coming through this system. We have to value what it meant to be, to work for free for 250 years and have to use your brain thinking of systems and tools that would help you to thrive, thinking of how do we make this work? Because the people who owned them weren't doing anything. They were literally just benefiting from the labor of the people who were creating everything. And we are the creators. We are the creators. So we have all the power. The people who aren't the creators don't have the power. We do. So we've got to start understanding our power, and that this system that we have been in helped us access the depths of who we are from the suffering and the need to thrive. Need is the mother of invention. So we invented things because we were the ones in the soil so we needed things. So we invented things. So we have the codes inside us that are inventive. So now we need to invent a new system that excludes them. And when they are ready to behave and our system is functioning, they will come and ask for entrance, and we will allow it on our terms. Do you get it? Have you checked out Kendra's chart? So much Gemini with Pisces moon. Yes. And Drake's chart is interesting too right now. He's a lot of Scorpio, so he has a lot of secrets and all that kind of stuff. It's so dope. It's all so dope. So you all, this new moon in Taurus invites you to set an intention to know your value, your intrinsic value, your soul value. What are you made of? What did your ancestors endure that is locked inside of you that you've not had access to yet? Where, like I told you, the forest that catches on fire. There's a forest that catches on fire, and when it catches on fire, all of the pine cones open up and seed the new soil with the new trees, right? So that's what we're doing now. This intensity is going to catch us on fire, and it's going to force us into a new way of being, so that we can really, really understand who we really are. And we're going to grow a new forest. We're going to create a new system. It's powerful. And we're already doing it. Many of us are already doing it. So use this new moon to know your value. Know your value. And come sign up for natal chart readings. Come join the community. Follow the sun. Come and sign up for the community, because we teach this. We're doing it all the time, every day, so that we understand how to work with energy. And this is an energetic system. Everything here is energy. The only thing going on here is energy. So go in my link tree, sign up for Follow the Sun, or go to my website, healwithmoonmama.com, and come and sign up. Peace and blessings, y'all. I love y'all. Happy new moon. Bye-bye.